Yes, now we are back with another episode of trying to save a team that is currently bottom of their domestic division. We have already been to England and saved Southampton. We then took over Elche in Spain and we were able to save them. And on Tuesday, we took over Cremonese in Italy. And unfortunately, we got relegated. But I don't want to talk about that one because today we are heading to Germany to take over the Schalke job. Now, I've already done a rebuild of Schalke on the channel, but this is a little bit more up to date, shall we say. My good friend FMTreq has a video on his channel where you can get the updated database, including the up-to-date fixtures as of the end of January. So all the January transfers are in, all the up-to-date fixtures are in, and you can take over a club at the end of that transfer window and see if you can do some of these little challenges with them. If we dive in and take a look at things, obviously I am the Schalke manager in this particular instance. We've headed over to the Bundesliga, and if we go into things, you can see this is the Bundesliga table after 18 games. Now, obviously, I do have to touch on some of the fixtures that have already been played in real life. Obviously, aren't in here, the ones between January and February, but everything up to the end of January is here and is ready to go. So Schalke are bottom of the Bundesliga with 10 points. Obviously, Hertha Berlin are there above on 14, and then the gap to actual safety is 16 points. Obviously, Bayern are fighting out with Union Berlin at the top of the division as things stand. That is another challenge that someone has actually posed to me. Take over Union and see if you can win the division. Maybe that'll come soon. Let me know if you want that down in the comments section. But what we're going to be doing is we are going to be trying to save Schalke. Now, if we dive into their fixtures, you can see all of their real life fixtures are here. Obviously, the cup ones we can't really control in this database, but the league fixtures we definitely can control. Obviously, since they've been back from the World Cup, it was a 3-0 loss to Eintracht Frankfurt, a 6-1 loss to RB Leipzig, and then a 0-0 draw with Cologne. Obviously, then you move into the fixtures against Gladbach and Wolfsburg, etc., etc., all the way down to the season, all the way until the end of May. But we are going to need a tactic for that today, and today we are using GYR's Brazilian. Now, it's a 4-2-4, and I've actually not used this a great deal in some rebuilds and stuff like that, but I felt like a 4-2-4 would be perfect for this particular system up in the Bundesliga and stuff like that. This team is actually relatively decent. It should not be in the position that they are in. Obviously, Premier League favourite, if you call him that, Southampton favourite maybe, in Maya Rashida. He's here as well at the club, but he is 34 years of age. Tom Kraus is a player that I really like in this year's game. Obviously, he is currently on loan from RB Leipzig, but does join Schalke at the end of the first season. He is a very good player, and we'll be trying to get some good stuff out of him. Away from that, we've got this man as well, who I'm hoping is going to be my main goal scorer. Simon Torud is how I'm going to say this dude's name. He is currently transfer listed at the start when you join, but he's got 16 finishing, he's got 17 heading. He is 34 years of age, but he's good in the air, good anticipation, and a good man to have at the club. Personally, I think his resolute personality is quite good. So hopefully we can power this team forward. If we have a look actually at the competitions tab and go on to the season preview, Schalke, obviously promoted, were expected to finish in 13th, and they are a little bit of a ways away, adrift at the bottom of the table. So let's get in, go month by month, and try and save Schalke. So we kick off the month of February with a tough game against Borussia Mönchengladbach, who are flying high in those European places in the Bundesliga. The boys gave it a great go, but ultimately we lost the game because of a Hans Wolf strike. Our first game at home as manager of Schalke was against Wolfsburg, and we opened the scoring after just 8 minutes as Michael Frey scored his first goal for the Hood regime. Marius Butler extended the lead on the half-hour mark, and even though we conceded a corner, we were able to secure all 3 points. Union Berlin were up next in what was a very open game. We came out on top thanks to goals from Simon Torud and this lovely strike from Marius Butler. We ran off the month with Stuttgart at home, and we managed to scoop another impressive 3 points with an early strike from Rodrigo Salazar before Simon Torud secured the win on the 80th minute after a defensive mistake from the visitors. After defeating our first game, we really started cooking in this 4-2-4 and stepped off the bottom of the league. At the end of the month, we sit in 16th in the Bundesliga and can really start looking up at teams like Hoffenheim and Stuttgart as we try and close that gap. The month of March sees us take on Bochum, Dortmund and Augsburg. Let's see if we can have another month like February. First up, our most winnable game away at Bochum. Well, we win, of course, right? Wrong. We did take the lead in this game, but then comprehensively got battered in the second half, with the host putting 4 goals past us. Yeah, as many as 4. Dortmund at home was up next, and I wasn't feeling positive about this one either. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 opened the scoring for the visitors, but the boys showed great character, battling back with 2 second-half goals to see us claim an unexpected 3 points. Rounding off the month, we travelled to Augsburg for a game that was truly end-to-end. The hosts took the lead 3 times in the game, but our spirit showed yet again as we were able to equalise on every single occasion, earning ourselves another point. This was yet another positive month for results, but looking at the table, we're still sitting in 16th, which leaves us in a relegation promotion playoff spot. This is definitely not where we want to be. In April, we have the following fixtures: Bayern Leverkusen, Hoffenheim, Hertha, Freiburg, and Werder Bremen. Kicking things off, we had an entertaining game with Bayern Leverkusen at home, and again the boys were coming back from a goal behind, and this one also ended up as a draw. I'm currently sensing a little bit of a theme here. Next up was a trip to Hoffenheim, where we were reduced to 10 men almost immediately as Michael Frey made a ridiculous tackle. Following the red, Hoffenheim were able to take charge of the game, running out eventual 3-0 winners. Hertha Berlin at home were our next opponents, and Dominik Drexler was able to snatch a vital 3 points with a very nice solo goal. Back from his suspension, Michael Frey was on hand to rescue a draw away at Freiburg, as yet again we came from a goal down. Closing out the month, we took on Werder at home, and our quality really showed here as we dominated the game with 3 goals in the second half from Leo Gremmel, Michael Frey and Rodrigo Salazar. 8 points secured from a possible 15 in the month sees us move out of the relegation playoff position in the league, but we're not out of the woods just yet. In the final month of the season, we have some of the big boys. First up, we take on Mainz before we play Bayern, Frankfurt and RB Leipzig. First up was Mainz away, where the team yet again battled back from 2 goals down to snatch a draw. This time it was Simon Terud who was able to score both goals in the game. Then it was Bayern in Munich. Deep down I knew this wasn't going to go well, but secretly I hoped we'd get something. We didn't. Bayern hammered us, and the goals kept on coming as Sané, Wanner and Coman all bagged one each, and Matthias Tell got himself a brace. Cheers Bayern, sun's crying. We then entertained Frankfurt at home in our penultimate game of the season, and we managed to edge a very tight game 2-1 thanks to goals from Frey and again that man Terud. The final game of the season saw us travel to second place Leipzig, so no surprise what happened here. Goals from Timo Werner and Andre Silva saw the season come to a close with a defeat. So guys, there you have it. The season is done and dusted, and we have managed to save ourselves yet another team. This Schalke team really should not be bottom of the Bundesliga, but this 4-2-4 really has managed to drag them out. If there is a challenge that you would like to see me undertake with this updated database, please do let me know down in that comment section. And if you do want to check out this 4-2-4 Brazilian, check out this video right here where we did a review of the tactic with Brazil, and it did really well.